Okay, so Leandro is sending me more emails, continuing to harass me. I'm not even separated from my husband, and he says, "You accepted the petition." I never accepted a petition for separation. So, he wants full disclosure, so I'm letting him know my dad came from hardworking guy, came from a farm, did construction when I was growing up. My mother came from the projects at Rock Rimmon, and she had to take care of her 9 brothers and sisters. So when we talk about abortion, my mother was trying to protect me in her crises from what she went through. Okay, and even with the worst of the worst here, not saying my mother was the worst of the worst, but that is a bad situation. She knew better because she knew she had brothers and sisters, and um, she helped take care of them, and she was close to my Aunt Kim, my Uncle Bill. My Uncle Steve was into cocaine, so that was not a good situation. My Uncle Gary was not a close uncle. My Uncle Mark was not real close. My Uncle Leon, I was not real close to either, mostly Bill and my Aunt Kim. Patty, I didn't really get to know her much. She had her kid kidnapped when I was little. So that was another family crisis. This is what I'm talking about with the drama. And then my aunt Carol, I wasn't as close to because she had a major tragedy where her son, not her son, her son looks like her husband, where Bob had died when I was little in a not a motorcycle accident. He went to go get a Megabucks ticket, and his friend was drinking. They got in a car accident, and the drunk friend was okay because his body was all relaxed. Bob did not make it. She never really recovered from that. So let me see. Patty, Carol, Linda. Linda's husband committed suicide, and then she married like 3 times. And then my Aunt Kim, I was close to, and my Uncle Bill. I was close to my grandmother too. So basically, I talk about how this is a family that came from basically nothing. We lived in Suncook, so when my dad bought a house in Epsom, we were taking a bath in the river behind the house because we had no water. Kind of like Little House in the Prairie, right? Because that's how the beginning was there, and that is on right now. So I think about that. So my dad actually worked very hard, construction. Then on the weekends, he put concrete down, drywall, etc., to get the house fixed that he brought in Epsom. The guy Bucky Stiles, who he brought it from, didn't even have dirt on the floor. The crib that they had a baby in back in the day didn't even have concrete on the floor. They had their baby in the dirt, which is absolutely disgusting. It was offensive. So we would sleep, when I was little, we slept in the truck, my dad's truck, for 3 or 4 nights. On the floor of his truck, I was on my mother's side. My mom and dad were sharing the seat of the Ford truck. They were laying together on there, and my brother was by the brakes and stuff because he was so little that he could do that. So we had to wait until the concrete dried and not smell the fumes. And then we slept upstairs. The beds were upstairs for a little while in the living room until my dad could get to everything. So not only did he work hard all day, 4 in the morning till 6 at night, but then on the weekends he was either doing the house, he was fixing it up, and then after that he was doing a lot more. We also had the shoots on the weekends, but he was hunting more and doing more of his own things on the weekend because he finally felt like finally the house is, you know, in really good shape after years of working on it. The wood stove had eggshells in it. We had family come over who helped. He helped another guy build a log cabin. So this is the type of family I came from. Very hardworking. Same with my mother. Very hardworking. She pulled herself out of a lot of garbage. My dad had to actually go over and beat guys up that were at the house and pull her out of that. But she married my dad, and she was better off money wise with him. And she wasn't a gold digger. They met at a party, and then I came along. She got pregnant when they met at a party, and that's how I came along. But anyways, very hardworking. My mother pulled herself out of a lot of stuff that she went through. But yeah, and so here I am, growing up in Epsom. By then, we had moved from Suncook to Epsom. The time I was like 6 or 7. Before that, I was walking to school, like at least a mile and a half, maybe one way. Um, at least a mile with the neighbors, and then walking to the store by myself as like a 6 year old down the road. So then we moved to Epsom. My dad wanted better for us, and small town. My mother and I were usually in Manchester, taking care of my grandmother. So Epsom didn't really feel like my town, except for school. So as I was growing up, I talk about here, basically I worked at Billy's restaurant, small town restaurant, and moved up at 14 from a toast girl to a dishwasher to a busser girl to a waitress, and how I was actually the one who had to get my husband a job. He had no motivation to work, and I was the one who got him a job, and I was always motivated to work because I had to help my mother. We She took care of her mother. She took care of all our brothers and sisters. So as I grew up, I was always with my mother, cleaning my great grandmother's house, doing errands, doing shopping. This is after school. This is on the weekends. The weekends were the shoots. So it's in my nature to work hard. Can I be lazy? Definitely. But more so, you will see that I actually do too much than not enough. So I am giving a full um, discovery uh, phase. Kevin has said that this is due in 45 days, and I am writing a lot of stuff for the judge right now.